Right. Hello, hello. Let's see. Just trying to get everything updated. There you go. All right. Welcome back. Monday 24th. Flying through. I don't have the boy yet, but the boy has been quite energetic and troublesome. So um yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um he's uh he's at that stage. I don't know, I guess it's called like a leap or something like that. So we'll see. Um Hold on. Don't switch. There we go. I think Neuro's sleeping today. And let's see. I haven't done this for a while. Let me go here. Let's see. Oh, on with the. I got it, Neuro. On with help desk. Yeah, gotta love help desk, huh? Todd actually was having that problem this morning. He's like, "What is Team Viewer? Why is it popping up on my computer right now? Why can't I shut it off?" I'm like, "Oh, Team Viewer is remote software." I'm like, "Do you have Team Viewer taking over your machine right now?" And he's like, "Yeah, kinda." I was like, "Oh, lovely." So anyway, here's the landscape for Monday morning. Decent movement, dollar strength across the board. Some of that has to do with Russia. Some of it has to do with FOMC, right? But we have pound yen in there. Actually, pound dollar is the biggest mover, down 76. And again, euro dollar down, Aussie dollar down, dollar CAD up, dollar Swiss up, dollar yen up. I mean, it's just the Europeans have done nothing but jack strengthening the dollar. So, which is odd. I mean, FOMC, everybody's expecting, some language about it, but that's that's what Todd thought. Yeah, he's like, I'm being hacked. I was like, no. What it probably is so because they are 100% remote, right? If they have computer issues, I think like Nadex took his machine, like he had to get a list of things that he like wanted to get installed on his machine, and he had to go to the office and have the help desk area, whatever you want to call them. Um, yeah, he basically he had to go like he's not allowed to install things on the Nadex machine, so he had to get help desk to put things on the machine for him. So would probably happen is that's what I'm assuming it is. What Ernest just said. I'm assuming TeamViewer was a way for his help desk to be able to remotely support and put things on, so they don't have to be in the office. So, and then again with the whole crypto.com, purchasing them and everything, I think as they change offices, they were moving to the Tasty offices, but now I guess they are not. They're going to go to the crypto.com offices. So they're actually going to change locations. Um, so I'm assuming that that's what it is. It's part of that whole deal to kind of streamline it. So I don't know. At this point, they're all just waiting for the full transfer so they can just start rolling forward. Um, they're not even doing much stuff with the other side, Todd says. So, um, do you think we enter a bear market this month or just a correction? No, Jack, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be red for a while. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is because I mean, if you look at everything what's going on, so inflation is going to be the number one thing that you need to watch out for, right? Um, Everybody knows they're going to start raising, and again, that's not the most beneficial thing for the overall stock market when inflationary pressures are just getting to be too high. So, if you look at it like the Russell right now, the Russell literally right now it's at the same place that it was January 4th or January 5th. I just looked at it a little while ago last year. So it wiped out an entire year's worth of gains already this year, already gone. So I mean, it's kind of a telltale sign of where it goes. So, uh, yeah, and they are going to raise interest rates. So I mean, there's no questions if the interest rates are going to rise. Um, and I mean, look at where we are with everything else, right? I mean, if you look at every poll, this presidency thus far has been considered. Everybody says that it's more divisive than it was a year ago. We're losing democracy because of the policies being put in. Every poll across the board says the economy is much worse than it was before. Um, I mean, think about it. Everybody is so negative on the economy and where we are, what it looks like going forward. Yet, what are we doing? We're coming out of a pandemic and it's turning back into an endemic. The CDC just said natural resistances are higher than all the vaccines. Um, so yeah, there's not really a whole lot positive out there right now, and we're due for a pullback, right? We're due for definitely a pullback. But now we need the Democrats to raise the capital gains rate. That will be the, if so many of them, if so many Democrats didn't actually own stock, then I would say maybe not, or it would be here already. Um, but yeah, that's the next step. We need to pay for more stuff. That's it. Let's raise capital gains because that's what's going to help out. Um, yeah, we'll see. Well, yeah, I think we have more room to go. I don't think we're stopping at this 10%. I think we officially go into more of a down pull. I think the rest of the world. I think everybody's going to be at the same stage. It's just been way too much of a bull market for way too long. We're due to pull back. Um, they're expecting like this year with supply chain issues and things like that. Um, there was an article that I read. It wasn't this weekend; it was last weekend. But it was talking about how many jobs are going to be lost to automation in the upcoming year, and the figures are like astronomical. It's like insane. And the reason why is because companies like, listen, with COVID, we lost. We couldn't have employees in, but if we had machines, machines don't go to sleep. So yeah, why wouldn't I go the automation route? So they said that the automation thing is going to be much much higher than this year than what we've seen in the past. Um, and and as many people are staying remote now, they said that remote work is here to stay. It's not changing. They're never going to require people to come back to telecommuting is in. And they said this is the year that we will really start to feel the impacts of that. A lot of the supporting businesses, I know the mayor in New York City is on he's on a warpath with it right now. He's like the guys that shine your shoes, the local sub shop where you got your lunches, the parking lot attendant where you parked your car. These positions are no longer needed, and we haven't seen thus far. They've been trying to hold on, but eventually they'll start to get worked out of the system because they're like, listen, it's not coming back. The new norm is here. So I think there's a lot more negative coming from the pandemic that we haven't seen on the economy side of things. You can only hold on for so long, and we're already seeing a lot of the changes. What is it? Automation and machines have been recognized. That's the 60s. Um, yeah, well, I mean, it became a big deal, Neuro. Like even when you look at like McDonald's, when they look at customer service surveys, when you have an automated, like when you have a machine that you can punch everything in on, um, and then if it outputs the wrong thing, it's on you. It's not on the machine. They said that the customer service scores were higher when there was a machine versus a person taking and filling orders. So yeah, even at the most basic level, like the lowest kind of entry level jobs, um, you know, typically automation is like, oh, who builds cars? Who does this? Now it's getting your orders and getting your fast food orders. You know, so yeah, it's kind of a different level of you know. And again, look at parking lots, right? There used to be parking lot attendants everywhere. Now it's all we don't have any of that stuff anymore. Annapolis, even for us down the street, we used to have one downtown near the down near Ego Alley, where the Naval Academy is. There used to be a parking lot attendant that they kept down there for this like little parking lot. It's been there forever, and then last year they upgraded it to full electronic, and some guy lost a job. So yeah, it's coming, but I think we're going to see a lot more of it in this upcoming year when people are like, "Wait a second, we're not going back to normal. This is the new normal." I think that's going to be, I think that's going to be a real problem. Um, so anyway, today we're going to see some manufacturing numbers coming here at 9:45 in a few minutes. Um, I think these are going to be interesting. Manufacturing has been kind of mixed. We have one day that it's really, really good, and the next day it's kind of like, wait, what happened? Did we stop manufacturing? Most recently, it's been more on the negative side of manufacturing. And again, it could be preparing for what's next. We don't really know. Services as well. Services, I think, are okay. I think this is the year where manufacturing is really going to be the true read. Last year, it was more of a services thing because it's like who's back to work, who's not back to work. So I think today's reading should be one that people are looking at, but I'm afraid we're probably going to get a mixed view on it. I doubt they're both going to be red, or doubt they're both going to be green. And again, we saw the Empire State manufacturer, Empire State survey, horrible, but then we saw Philadelphia and it was good. So, we'll see what this flash number is. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be anything that sets the market off necessarily one way or the other. In anything that is, just like super super crazy, but We'll see. The biggest news this week, really, and today is going to be FOMC on Thursday or on Wednesday, right? FOMC will be a big one. The way that the market is looking right now, I feel that they actually may sneak a raise in. I know there was like, oh, March, 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 but I think they either sneak one in now or March is a 50, right? It's not going to be a 25. That's going to be my kind of take on this whole thing. So I think that's going to be one of the big things. And then Russia. Obviously, Russia's a big deal right now. I love this one. The Kremlin says the Ukraine is concentrating a huge number of forces, on the contact line, and adds that the probability of Kiev starting military conflict in Ukraine is higher than ever before. Well, I mean, yes. Like this is like if you needed a propaganda description, I feel like this is it. You've been stacking 100,000 troops and tanks and your attack helicopters there for a month now, and because they put some troops there, you're like, listen, where's this military as high as ever? Like, I, it's like, it's just it cracks me up. It's like, wow, really? You're really pointing fingers and said that Ukraine is going to cause a conflict? You have literally stacked your military and attack force on their border, and you expect them to do nothing. Right. Now, if the Ukraine was Israel, they would have already been attacked, right? It's not Israel is definitely like we're so tiny we got to strike first. The Ukraine is not really like that. So yeah, and then the Kremlin throws this bit of this gem out here, right? The Kremlin dismisses British media reports that Russia will stop gas supply to Europe if sanctions are imposed as false panic. He doesn't deny that they're going to do it, but I feel like, and that's how you take this one, right? Like I understand it until we get to the as false panic. I feel like what they're doing here is they're not denying that they're going to do that, but it's like, oh, saying it now, you guys are just causing false panic. We haven't done it yet, right? So I don't know, but on top of it, this is the other piece of the puzzle. That the U.S. orders families of embassy staff to leave. Yeah, that kind of adds more into it as well. When you pull embassy staff, it typically is not a good sign, right? The State Department also warned people not to travel to Russia due to the ongoing tensions and potential for harassment of U.S. citizens. Yeah, you've basically said don't go there and let's get our embassy people out. Now, remember, right? You have to understand the embassy is technically considered U.S. soil. So if they did anything to U.S. citizens in there, then yes, that would be a direct result of. And again, I don't think Russia. I mean, Russia has definitely got some ego, but I mean, come on, really? You're going to attack the United States? I mean, going into the Ukraine where it's an ally situation that we support them and we're protecting democracy is one thing, but come on, if you attack our embassy, that's considered an attack on U.S. soil. Like, do you really want to go there? So I do feel that they're like, hey, listen, it's going to get bad quick. Let's pull these things. The fact that we're still talking about it a couple weeks later, I think this is going to be a big draw on the market. Now, again, war and anything like this typically tends to be good for the U.S. economy. It's kind of brought us back before. You talk about contractors and things like this. Like it definitely money is definitely spent. Right? Money is definitely spent when those scenarios happen. But we've seen the last couple of wars, besides like, the one where it's more of like the occupation with like, Afghanistan and that kind of stuff. I mean, wars don't really last a long time. You're going to blow everything up really, really quick and it's going to be over. Right. So I don't think it's going to come to that. I don't know. I mean, in this day and age, I don't know. It's the fact that it's gone on this long. Like, I really don't know what their bargaining chips are. Like, yeah, we're gonna invade. Are you? Do it. Do it. Do it. It's like I just feel like it's bluff, 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 bluff. So, um, despise the man, but Putin plays chess. Oh, he does. He does. He absolutely does, Ernest. And that's the thing. I mean, the guy's not stupid. He's been able to maintain control now for I don't even know how many years. He keeps changing the rules. He keeps doing this. Like they're not stupid, and they're not the world power that they used to be, but they still have plenty of deterrence, and they definitely have. Their I think their current jet is more advanced than our current jet, but which is great, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, we still have 50 jets for every one of theirs. So yeah, yours is better, but it's kind of our military is just so much bigger. It's not like we're going to go into a direct conflict type scenario. And remember, Russia says we should never use nukes; that they are the worst thing ever. So it's like, okay, um, And then again, we have all these bombs now that have a larger yield than some of the original nuclear weapons, but with no nuclear side. So yeah, there's that. Iran attacks U.S. embassy and Jimmy did nothing. Yeah, yeah. I feel like you go to the Iranian one just preparing to be attacked, though, right? Yeah, yeah. So again, a lot of geopolitical events that we need to worry about this week. A lot of data. I would say that in looking at this as well. Another thing that I think we should bring up. Here's one actually. Actually, I didn't read this one yet. What are they saying here? Um, well, futures contract. Putin be allowed, and yeah, crypto mining be allowed. Yeah, here you go. To circumvent sanctions. Yep. So this probably also adds why we're seeing currencies fail, because Russia's like, no, 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 we're going to allow mining in Russia. That way we can get around sanctions. Okay. So this is the worst thing as a crypto person you want to hear, because as soon as they're allowing it to circumvent sanctions, the United States is going to outlaw crypto. Like, oh, that's what you're going to do? Well, great. We're not going to accept it here. We're gonna crush it. We're gonna kill it. It's like, yeah. So once the U.S. takes it as a threat to global security, it's done. So yeah, cryptos are taking it on the chops today as well. So a lot of stuff going on. No real news tomorrow. Let's see what this is. Yeah. Oh, they actually are both red. So again, yeah, not necessarily the best for the dollar, but the dollar was spiking all morning today. So this one's I don't know if I would paint that one red. Manufacturing, that I wouldn't. That's a red, but that's in close enough proximity. I don't know if I'd consider that red. This one, yeah, absolutely. This is a red. And again, the big one for this one is going to be 50. So, 55, although it's red, it's not really that big of a deal. This 50.9, though, is going to come into play next time, because 50 shows a contraction, right? Industry contraction. So 50.9 is getting pretty close. And again, this may be the one thing that kind of holds holds the Fed back. Look at this. U.S. output growth slows to 18-month low as Omicron wave exacerbated. Yeah, but now what we're hearing is the CDC just announced a little while ago that the natural immunity is higher than the vaccines for these type of things, especially with Omicron. So yeah, every country's like, yeah, it was horrible, but it also should show you that we have an acceleration in growth, right? Because everybody that just had it, this is bad. It hurt us. Well, guess what? They don't have it anymore. It's no longer a pandemic. It's an endemic. There we go. Here, look at this. Raising rates is the best solution for the Fed right now. Yep. Again, it's 40 or not 30-year high, but thanks for contributing, buddy. So yeah, let's go over in charts. Let's start it with currencies. Oh, it's bouncing off that level. All right, so these are some of the levels from last week. Again, all the profit targets were hit, and we talked about a profit target down here at 71.26. You can see it tagged the profit target, came up, and then just pushed through it. It didn't even pull back. Right now, I mean, the next big levels we have, and again, this was more for a Harry Potter trade, was a break of 70.82. It's already been pushed really kind of down to the brink, and we're not in far proximity from that right now. Here, I'll just bring this one across. We'll use this. I was going to say at this point, we got to start setting alerts. And again, if they raise, this should spike very, very fast. Again, we'll pull the profit target off here from last week. We don't need it. It didn't really pause, so we're not going to use it anymore. I don't need that level. I don't need news. Let's clean up some of these old levels in here. That one was good. We'll pull that. I don't need that. That profit target's out. That's out. That's out. We don't need that. We'll drag the fibs down now and kind of see where the next level is. We're going to leave that 61.8 there. I'll leave that there. Oof. So right now, it looks like our 50 has moved into a great little setup as well. Biggest problem is we don't really have a turning point. This is not a turning point. I mean, it could turn off of there, sure, but I would definitely not take that one long. I would say right now, I'd start setting an alert on this one. Actually, let's use array, and we'll do it with array. I kind of want to know when we're sitting in the middle of that zone. I'm going to change this to orange for an alert, and we're going to set an alert here. We're going to talk about Aussie USD. It's just going to be a regular short. I want to know when we come down to that level. Because again, like I said, if we get some basing in that level, yeah, I'm looking to take this one short again. But right now, fib-wise, if this was the bottom, if right now they said, bam, we're done, I will say watch out for this 50%. We got a level kind of sitting right there that's been tested twice, but barely touched, which would come right back up on the 50% retracement. So we can pull this one right now. Let's drag this down. This is at the 61.8. This is an old level, but I don't think I need it now. Nah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna change it. So it was a good short last week. I actually am gonna. I'm gonna turn this one live again too. No, I want the alert. Cancel. Let me change this to. I can't tell if the pink is like the dull. There we go. There we go. Again, tested level up at the 61.8. If this is where we stop, again, I just want to keep that on there because I do like that for a short. But right now, I'm looking at the 71.87 on the top side, and again to the downside, I'm looking a break of the 70.82. But again, set yourself in a little. There's no reason why sit there and kind of stare at this thing. It just doesn't make any sense. But again, we'd be looking for a short and look something along these lines. But I don't have confirmation yet, so just don't take it. Don't take it blind. Get alerted. See if we're basing, and then take that one short. And in reality, let's see. Let's pull this off and let's see where our profit target needs to be. Come on, I just want to move. Yeah, profit needs to be out there, right? There's our profit on that one. So we got plenty of room to run from 1 to 3. Okay, so there's one trade set up. Aussie yen. All right, so Aussie yen came down, ended up tagging off that level, got to about a 1.5 to 2. Let's extend this down and see where we're at. There is a little bit around the 50. I don't love this one as much, but again, this one got hit late last night. 3 o'clock in the morning. So a small trade. You most likely, if you would have taken that long at 3 o'clock, you made it to I don't know what a 2 to 1. You made it to a 2 to 1, so you absolutely should not have lost a dime on this one. Um, yeah, I made it to a 2 to 1. So yeah, so you would have worst case scenario, you got stopped out of break even on this one, but you're not holding that one for a long time. So let's pull this off. And again, Sunday night, so not really surprised. It did give us a pullback, so we're going to keep this one on as a potential level for shorts later on down the road. Let's see where looks like. We got another Harry Potter in here. I don't need this. I don't need this. Let's pull some of these longs off. I'm gonna keep that on. I know we got a short in here. 80-30 is what we're looking for. How many hits we got? 1, 2. So we probably have a small bounce off this level. All right, let's see. We're gonna set this one up short. And again, I want to see. Again, I'm not taking this as it goes through. I want to see where the base is and the pullback. 1 to 3 is there. Let's see. What does this look like? Profit target is there, which is fine. That's a decent level. It's been there a few times on a news burst, so we're good for that one. All right, so we're gonna keep those guys on. Yeah, I'd say that's probably decent. Again, set yourself an alert. Let's get alerted. Actually, let's do it on the dotted line on there. I already got it drawn. This is what Aussie yen pre HP. There we go. All right, so got an alert down there. If you know how to do it, set your alerts at 80-39. As far as places to get short on this one, right now there's not really a whole lot of decent pullbacks. We could actually change our fib from the top. There was higher highs put in here, so we could actually bring this down and kind of bring it to here. That puts us at a 50% level right here, which I'm not actually hard. It's not actually a bad level right there. Actually, we're in such close proximity. I know it did hit back up, but we're close proximity to 50. So let's just take it off to 50. So if this is the bottom, there is a 50% retracement for you fib traders out there. And it's kind of wedged in between the 50 and the 61.8. So decent level. But if you're looking for some type of reversal play today, 81.42 would be where the short comes in. Okay. Euro pound. So euro pound is continuing to rise. We had talked about this level of basing, and again, we hit it, and it kind of blew through. But I like it for the next time it comes through here short. I love how this kind of rallied up. And again, this is over the weekend, so always hard and kind of funky. Like 3 o'clock was right here. It never gave us an entry short. So 2 trade setups I'm looking for. Excuse me. Looking for a trade setup of a breakthrough this level right here. Let's turn that this way. Let's turn this into a 4. I'm going to turn that into an alert. Actually, I guess you know what? I got to do it this way. I got to do the ray because I forgot that if your line is not drawn, it doesn't like it. So we're gonna set this one. We're gonna change it red. And again, this is a trade for later on in the week. Euro pound. There we go. Love overtaking this zone right here. Plenty of room in that one. I don't need this level anymore. We had our hits. This guy is still good down below. We probably bait. Honestly, we probably are going to end up basing right here. And again, probably a bit of a base, but we should be able to slice through lower. So just watch that level. It hit 4 times, and it's been a level before. All right, so looks like we ran into that level, the 61.8. Let's pull this old thing off. Let's get some of these trend lines out. That alert is done. Yeah, kill that alert. Pull this, pull this. Actually, you know what? Let's go to a 4-hour on this one. All right, that's what I wanted. All right, so we know that there's a 4-hour level right there. Yeah, we're bouncing off a 4-hour right now. It is kind of what the problem is on this one. So, yeah, it's a 4-hour and it's a 78.6. That's something to watch out for. I don't think it's going to affect the trajectory overall, but I do think, you can see that it is having problems with it. It hit it once. We have some lower highs put in here. So we kind of have, kind of got this scenario, right? So I'd say this one's probably due for a retracement as well. How many pips is it? It's only 21 pips. So not, I'm not looking to take this one short, but I think watch out for it. Again, if you know how to set an alert, set yourself an alert for, coming down to this 83. Actually, if you want to do it a little bit earlier than that, you can actually put it on the top side of that zone, which would be an alert around 83.57. Look for it to come down and look for some basing in here. Even if it doesn't base and pulls through and pulls back up, if you need to extend this one, this is a decent short and it should run back down to the 83.09 level. Again, remember the Europe is going to be more exposed to the risk from Russia versus kind of what we're doing with the pound. The pound is definitely going to be more protected. Euro yen. So euro yen, again, perfect trade setup last week. It came back up and grabbed our 50% retracement on that one. That one is out. So again, 2 nice little short trades. Let's pull some of these off just to kind of keep the charts clean for this week. Yep, I don't need that confirmation anymore. I don't need that. You can see how much time it's spent in this level. And again, Monday morning trading, so I'm not really concerned about it. Let's see here. Grand scheme of things, that level is still at a 50, even with this new rate. So that is fine. We're going to leave that there just so I know. And then I'm curious to see, again, we had new highs in there. Yeah, look at that, 50, the basing right around at the 50. So here's a potential reversal for later today if we can pull back up again. And again, it's, the 50's in there. It's a level of basing, and it was tested once afterwards. It got front run a second time. So, I would say kind of watch out for this one, right? Right there, 128.80. As far as where there's areas to the downside, let's see. What do we got here? What do we got? Actually, we pulled back a little bit. So let me throw a horizontal on here so I can get it correctly. Nope. Wanted a horizontal line. Horizontal line right there. Let's see. Hmm. Coffee. There's a decent pop in here. This I'm not concerned about. Decent pop off this one. A little bit of a pop in a test here. So there's a few levels that it needs to chunk through. Um, I don't even know which one I like the best. I mean, this one's okay, right? That one's okay. There's a level sitting right here, but again, push it pretty deep in there. This is a double bottom. I'm not looking for that one there. This has been front run twice, but we've hit this level 3 times now. So again, I'd probably say the next clean buy is probably all the way down here at 127.52. It's going to be about a 70 pip down draw right now, but we don't need to really kind of focus on that yet. But it would be down really, really all the way down here, right? And again, The 3 times that it's touched it, here, gone, here, gone, here, gone. So it's technically hit number 4, but we haven't really pierced. It hasn't pushed in here much at all. So yeah, I mean, like you said, a bunch of small levels in here, but this profit target finally got hit. Um, yeah, I'd like to see this one stabilize a bit, right? I'd like to see this one stabilize a bit. This is just a horizontal line. This is nothing that we're trading off of. We know we got all this room to run. So yeah, I'd be looking for these pullbacks, but I think 128.80 is the best little kind of setup here. And again, this one is holding firm at the 50, right? And then when we redraw a new set of fibs, again, we got a little bit of a testing right around the 50. Watch that level. And again, this other level is also tested. So I think both these are decent shorts if we can get up there in price either day this week or anytime this week. 129.27, 128.80. Looking at euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar just tagged our profit target down from those shorts. This is one we had drawn last week. It didn't give us the cleanest entry, unfortunately, but again, it's Monday morning. That's what typically happens. But price is all the way down now, so let's pull all these off and clean this one up a little bit. Let's get some fibs on here. Yeah, we pulled from there. Let's actually draw. In reality, I should do it from there, but we're going to pull this one. Let's see. Good, nothing on there. Let's pull all the way up. There's a little bit there, but I'm not as concerned about that one. Pull that. I wouldn't get aggressive with that one either. I think the biggest things right now that are stopping this one are the buyers right here. And again, this level's been chopped through tons, so it's not really a go long level. Got a little bit in here too. You know what? I'm going to drag this one down and bring this one live again. Okay, that one is live again. Let's move just a little bit. Right there. I like how this one is touched up top, so let's bring this alert live again as well. There we go. We're going to turn this top red. And again, that was a level from last week, so we're going to use that on top for shorts. Let's pull this up. So 113.58. In reality, I'm looking for this one to drop. It's been here so much. I don't love it right now, but it looks like we're good all the way down to 119.94. So kind of in the middle of the range. So I mean, this one I kind of have bracket off 113.58, 111.94 to the downside. If we continue to base here, I do like this. I would like to keep this one long. I'm sorry, short, long dollar. And again, I think if we can get into Wednesday morning and it's like this, then yeah, we're looking to get short quick. All right, pound yen. We had a Harry Potter there. There was our alert. And again, this one, it kind of broke through, but didn't, and then based again. So this is, again, one of the ones you could have taken. It's out past profit, so we were looking for this one to get short on the break. So it's done. We can take it off now. We've ended up cranking through there. Do I need this right now? Let's see. Nope, but I am going to take this, and we're going to draw some fibs on this one. Let's see. Do I want to do it from up top? I'm going to leave this up top. That's not an alert. We're going to pull this here. I don't need this bottom anymore. Let's see. I'm curious to see. 50 is going to move down. I think this one probably stops here. Again, this is more that forecasting with fibs because there's our 50. You guys remember this was the dream killer trade from last week? There was our dream killer. This was the dream killer trade from last week on Friday. I mean, it's obviously we talked about being short. It's well beyond. Oops. Pound yen 50%. So, yep, dream killer work, guys. Trying to see where we stop on this one. Let's go back up and let's go to an hourly and see if we can get a little bit better. There we go. I like this one. That's a wick over wick. Kind of want to mark it, but I don't know that I'll do much with it. There's an hourly. I'm gonna mark that as a single, and then there's your wick over wick. Let's see on a 4 hour. 4 hour. What does it give us? There we go. Yeah, we can't see them all. Well, we can't see. You can't see it's a wick over wick on that. Hmm. It's funny that this one completely evaporates. See what it does here. How much we got? That's a 55 pip runner, so that could be something decent now. Um, hmm. So 152.60. We're gonna run this guy down. It still puts our 50 right there, which is fine. Let's put our 50 here a little bit. Um, I actually like that better. Yeah, I like that better. If this comes down to 152.38, it's an okay zone. If that acts as our reversal, potentially at 10:30 ish, 11 ish today. If that acts as our reversal, that 50% is a nice little 50% retracement trade. Kind of sitting in this level right there. How many pips risk is that? 23. It's not horrible for pound yen. Um, it's not horrible. It's not a bad retracement. Okay. If you guys are looking for something small, let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, it's 11. It's not bad. Again, a pullback would be nice. Well, you guys can see the 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So not bad at all. Pretty easy one. Again, look for a base in here or look for it to punch through and then pull back to it. That would be a break of 152.91. Actually, that lower levels there too. There's actually something set up at the 23.6 also. There's a decent level here that was tested 9:30 this morning. So not a bad little kind of pullback, although a little bit bigger on the risk side. Right there. Where's the risk on that? 20, 21. Not bad. But yeah, I want to see a base in here and then a punch through. So there's a short there. I would say if we do come down to 152.38, it's a nice reversal spot. If it does line up that way, again, we got a great 50% entry here at 154.64. And again, 23.6, there's also a level at 23.6. So if 152.38 is there, again, set yourself two different alerts for the 23.6 and 50, and you should be good to go. Pound dollar. So pound dollar target's been hit. This one we were looking for a breakthrough. We weren't talking about this one slowing down into 134.33. It's there. It's almost there. Right. It's continuing to drive lower. If we bring this down into this zone, you can see that the 50 is really kind of, again, if we use this zone as where it's going to turn, again, we're close to the reversal time. We're close to the level. If this is a level that's going to hold, this would be the time we're doing it in the next about 15 minutes. If we do that, you can see that this push begins right at the 50, right? Here's the start of the push. There's your 50% retracement level. So that we don't need. This one kind of moves up into no man's land. We don't need as much. That trade is from last week. That's a good one. We'll continue that across at the 100 right now. All right, here's the big question. The big push, if we run down, yeah, that actually pulls our 50 right here. Look at that punch through that 50 on the larger scale. It's not a bad push either. We're going to delete it right now, but we'll know that it's sitting right there. Yeah, so I would say this one's due more for reversal. We'll see if it comes down. This zone, last time it was here, you can see buyer stepped in pretty decently. Nice little base, very, very strong push out. I don't think that was news. It's 8:30 in the morning. Well, it's on the 29th, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so we know we've got some buyers in here. So again, 10:30 reversal opportunity we have coming in. Um, it's only 10 pips risk, so very, very tiny risk. But, you know, this one, Europeans stepped in the market here. So you can see This has been nothing but straight down profit taking should come in, and that would be a bounce off of 134.32. We'll put a long position in right here. You can see it's if it continues to grind, that last little next grind, we're clear. If this is a red and a red, the last little green pullback is right above it. So definitely room to run on that one. Okay, and that's a 134.33. Dollar CAD. So we got the pullback on dollar CAD. It wasn't huge, right? And we talked about it being here for news or being here for the open. It wasn't. It was already up high. So again, this was not. It didn't need a no gap play happened this weekend on this one. It did pull back, obviously, give us that Harry Potter. So let's remove this now, but we may come back to this level eventually for a short. Right now, trying to find a top on this one, you can see that it came up to 126.80. It's exactly where this turned. We were looking for something up top here, 127. Whoops, I didn't want to move that. This I wanted to move. And we do have an alert that comes in at 127.23. So we're still holding, looking for the overtake here. Again, this is what it ran into on its way up. If it can just get a little bit more strength out, again, nice little reversal level coming up. So we're still holding firm. But yeah, 126.800 is where we hit, and 126.800 is right here. So these are the sellers right here that we ran into. It gets just a little bit more, about another 10 pips. We're clear, and we take our short from up top. So keep your alert on there. And again, right up there, 127.29. So dollar CAD is still set from last week. Dollar Swiss. Talk about this one rolling forward. It's funny, we marked this, marked it from this morning from the European session, and it's, we talked about strength coming in. It's going. It wasn't a level for kind of an entry, but technically it was at a basing level, right? It was at a basing level, and there was a European session open. So we still got some room to run. Still waiting for 91.45. Still waiting for this short, and it's slowly getting there. But even if you caught this one from the bottom, you're only up about 32 pips on it. So you could have traded it. I was definitely not awake this morning at 3. Something covering calls by crazy. Yeah, yeah. The VIX is like up at 23. It started at 13, so it's only getting worse. So yeah, if you're selling, you should do quite well. Yeah, look at this. Everything is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Yep. Yeah, I mean, with the volatility, this, and again, Jake, if you're comfortable with options, right? Think about it this way. Our volatility, VIX right now is up 24% today, right? If you understand the volatility crush, everything is just accelerating, going lower, 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 right? Huge volatility today. We're probably not going to see the same volatility tomorrow. So again, if you understand strategies for volatility crushes, this is kind of like an earnings report for news, right? How you can trade it. This is how you do it, man. This is how you do it. This is way outside of the range, even for a volatile day right now. Everything down 2.5, almost 3%. Tomorrow could be a great day to play the opposite spectrum of this, right? Not saying that we're going to suddenly have a bottom and go long, but I'm just saying there should be a volatility crush tomorrow. And again, if you know strategies for volatility crushes, there you go. All right, dollar yen. So dollar yen, we had a profit target down at 113.70. We hit it twice last week. It came through, came back, gave us a reentry. It came through again. It didn't end up triggering a third time. It did come up. I would say this one is more sideways. Everything right now with the dollar is going crazy. This is only up 0.19, so it's the dollar and it's fighting the yen. They both have a decent amount of strength in them right now. Again, market's down, yen's going to kind of get yen's going to get a little powerful, right? I would say right now this is probably the most dangerous and the one currency that is going to have plays that are a little bit more harder to predict. And again, that's why you're seeing really Europe last night, right? Yesterday got sent down. And then we're right back up. There's really no true direction at all. In everything right now, this is the smallest moving asset, right? Smallest moving asset. Really just not trending enough right now to be able to do much with it. So, yeah, I would avoid this one if you can. I'm not even going to analyze it anymore. I would say the 114.27 is still good, but besides that, it's the smallest mover. It's just literally whipping. It's just going sideways. Take everything else is trending. Go with those other things, right? Let's go across and talk about oil. So oil, huge push to the downside, and this one is continuing through. Now again, normally what we see is right there. Normally, we see the U.S. trader step in and provide strength for this one. Again, this is a down. It's very rare that we have a down, particularly on a Monday. Now, there's a lot of things that could be factoring into this one. Some of it could be, oh, they're going to halt supply. Oh, no, no, we're not going to halt supply. We're not going to, again, probably taking a little bit away. And when you look at the headlines, let's see if anything is popped. Um, New Zealand. This dropped to 14 euros because the dollar's just taken off. I'm trying to see. Kremlin, Germany, rate hikes. French. Yeah, you're not seeing it. Iran rolls out any U.S. precondition. Let's see. He's already said that the release of prisoners is non-negotiable. Yeah, prisoners is not oil. Nuclear talks. Yeah, I would say. I mean, what I was looking for over here in the headlines. Last week we had some missiles being shot back and forth. Saudi Arabia is a very important country, and really Dubai is as well. Um, Not seeing them in the news. So it looks like we've had some kind of subsiding from that. Manufacturing numbers, obviously, and services did not help oil today, but it looks like oil is just preparing for its next push. So 71, I'm sorry, 81.79 is the last time we had a test. The zone formation is kind of crappy, but it was a test over there. It's pulling back, but I would say that we probably push it. I would be shocked if that was actually the bottom of the day. I think we do try to push down, but I do think we find stabilization, and I think finding an opportunity to go long from the 81.80-ish level is probably decent. Like I said, the zone formation is not perfect, but it was a test at 8 a.m. bounce. There are buyers sitting there. The two things I'll be watching is a bounce off of this, and then again, if we go much lower, there's definitely a level of basing here, and there's absolutely a racetrack over here. So I would say that this would be something to watch out for, the level here. And again, if you wanted to set an alert on this one for oil, if oil is able to break through, where are we at? 80, 87? Let's see. Oil short. Um, no, like I said, I think oil deserves to be high, and part of the problem is right now with everybody and their brother saying this is going to be at 95, 96. Every person that listens to the news right now is buying this thing. So I would say there's a decent bounce coming in at 81.80, but again, if we're able to break through 80, 87, look for this to come down and potentially probe down here in that 79.50. Yeah, 79.50 right there would be more or less my target on this one. Take over this big, news base explosion, you got plenty of room to run in there. So it's a decent trade. Like I said, I don't know when it's going to hit. I think oil deserves to be higher than this, but like I said, if the sellers want to come in that strong and bust out every single one of these people, all the longs that are in right now. I mean, this they're just busting them out left and right. But there is a decent short if we can make it far past 80, 87. So yeah, it's there. But I think going against this 80, 80 right now, it was a nice little bounce. Again, I'd be surprised if that was the bottom. It's close to 1030, but we should get a little bit of a bounce. But we'll see. Natural gas also kind of in the same scenario. Natural gas is going to have a bit more exposure right now. And again, come on, natural gas. Natural gas is more basing sideways. That bottom is still holding, and we're still waiting for that pullback. And again, I would say probably where is it? It's 408 is where our shorts are. Right now, it's still pinched in top and bottom. So although it's down 113, you're seeing natural gas has more or less stabilized itself, and kind of what we expect. Gold. So gold is back down. Last week we were talking about getting an entry on this one. We did get a trigger very, very fast, but it wasn't really a great trigger. It didn't give us the pullback. We're really looking for some type of a base right here, right? I want the base, and actually we need to shrink this a little bit to there. I'm really looking for the base. I want it to pull down a little bit. I really kind of would like it to bounce off of 1826. If we can get the pullback up, then it would be a great little short. I still think targets of 1812 are on, there. We obviously couldn't get back up and get entry at the end of last week. And again, with FOMC raising rates, the short's there, guys. The short's there. So there is opportunity to be able to kind of take these short. Right now, it's not there yet, but it's close. It's close. So again, keep this on your radar. Again, if you're using an options-based product, you absolutely can use a Natick short on this one. I don't even know. You know what? I have it up on another. Let me see. By the way, Todd was like, "Hey, they reduced all the call spreads. The call spreads look good." An out of the money call spread had $100 risk, $100 profit for being out of the money. It's like, nah, I'm not taking a 1-to-1. Sorry. Um, Gold. Sorry, I wanted gold knockouts. Let's see, what do we got here? I'm looking for one to break and repaint. Who's it going to be? There you go. All right, so there is actually, if you're looking for something kind of a break of this one, there is actually a gold knockout floor, right? A floor at 1832. Okay. 1832 puts us right in the range. And again, Nadex price is a little bit higher. Where they have this turning at 1828, Nadex has that at 1832. And that's where one breaks. If it breaks, it should repaint another one. Probably, I would assume, probably looking in this range here, there could be a decent little short here. And again, being a knockout, it gives us a little bit more time, right? Gives us a little bit more room. So again, could be a nice little option there. And again, it's ready to break. It's riding it right now. Come on. It needs 5 cents, 4 cents. Come on. You can break it. Not 6 cents. It's literally riding right on the ride. It's so funny. Now it needs 9 cents. Um, yeah, it needs the break. It needs the break of this. If this breaks, and again, it's a little bit delayed here. It's funny. It's funny how the candles are painted differently between these two. Um, but yeah, if that breaks, there's a good little selling option here. If you guys are any of the Natics people out there, silver also taking it on the chops. We talked about this one coming down. We're through now. You can see it bounce off that 23. We're looking for shorts to come through this level. Kind of the same bit over here. Really, we don't have any buying until 22.90. So this one, it's at 23.68. I think it's got another 60 cents to go on this one to the downside. I expect this one to continue to get crushed. We've been talking about that since last week. A little bit of profit taking happening, but I mean, really until this level here at 23.40, there's no buyers. So I mean, it's already kind of eaten this level up. And if you guys are short silver, I think you're still good. I think you're still good on the short there. Let's go across. Obviously, the VIX is now at 30. My joke earlier today with Todd was like, right now this is like watching a tech company in the 90s, and this is exactly what the tech company in the 90s looked like. We are now up 30%, right? Yeah, 30%. Yeah. Yeah, there's absolutely going to be a volatility crush tomorrow because it's not going to be able to keep this up. I mean, unless I don't know, did Russia cross the border? Um, no, no, Russia hasn't crossed the border yet. But man, is it getting crazy? And again, remember, Todd's like, well, the VIX is just a reading the ES. That's why it's happening. I was like, yeah, but again, remember, the VIX is looking at volatility. Yes, it's originally based off of this, but as the VIX increases, the options markets start to take over because it makes options more expensive. Which, when they see that and it starts spreading, that also has a contagion over into the other markets, right? So the higher the VIX gets, the more acceleration. And again, it's kind of the chicken before the egg. But remember, the ES and these things, they're trading, but most of their movement isn't necessarily happening until 9:30. These are already moving in the morning before the overall indices are moving, which again increases the VIX, and then the VIX kind of leads. But 28% is huge. I looked at all these this morning. And I was trying to find where the bottoms would be on these. You can see we're kind of coming down, and we just kind of went off that lower one. But I talked about how 4,300 was going to get tagged. It did. It just sliced through 4,300 like it was no big deal. Unfortunately, with the VIX this high, options are hard to play. Like I said, there was a call spread. It was out of the money by like half the size, and it was 50. It was a 1-to-1, even though it was out of the money half. 1.5 call spreads higher. So yeah, this is one of those ones. Uh, Here's our, let me drop this down to a 15. Okay. Here's our opening print. There's no pullback. There was a little bit of a spike up, but there was no pullback back to a level. So I was looking at this morning. I was like, we've been absolutely killing it with the opening print strategy. I was like, man, I'm afraid today there's just not going to be anything. Like, honestly, there's no levels it's coming down to. It's not pulling back. It's been forever since we've been down here. I was like, I'm afraid we're going to get zero opening print strategy setups. Well, here's one. And guess what? No opening print setup. Nothing. It's just a continued extension to the downside. There was a level a little bit higher, but it just gave us a little bit of a pop. And there's a wick over wick, but come on. That would have been, you'd had to be extremely, extremely conservative to take that one. And with the volatility pricing the way that they were, that was going to be hard. So I think where it's bouncing does make sense. We knew we had buyers down there. Am I willing to get long and say this is the bottom for the day? Maybe. I mean, it could be, but I feel like, at this point being 10:30, we're seeing a little bit in there. If we can put a candle in that doesn't break through again, then yeah, it's probably the bottom for the day. But right now, um, Again, you can see we're just collapsing. I mean, the Europeans are just they lumped on early. Again, probably taking some profit taking, but I mean, this is one of those ones that the trend is obviously down, right? The trend is obviously down. Typically, we're waiting for a pullback to continue this. Is there any higher time frame levels? The reality is not really. There's just not. I mean, it's been, you know, there's you can see right here. There is these things are kicking around, right? This is what we're dealing with right now. This level right here, and that's exactly what we turned and bounced off of. So, but again, sellers, 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 and sellers. So again, great target for reversal, and it did turn, but it's not something I was willing to step in front of. I think this one has the ability to go even lower today, especially with the VIX accelerator. We get any type of continued news. I think taking these, I'd be more willing to take it short. Now, if we take this just this morning, let's look at this. Maybe there's a nice target or something. There is a 50 up there. So what I was wondering is if we're going to have any type of overlap. So if this is technically the bottom for the morning, which again 10:30 it could be, right? Your 50% overlaps on the larger time 23.6. There is a wick over wick there. And again, those of you with the class know what a wick over a wick is. And it was technically tested at the 9:30 candle. Again, aggressive, but we are confirmed that it's there. So again, it's a 23.6 and a 50 depending on who's looking at that fib wise. That could be a potential short for later on this afternoon, coming up to this level, right? And again, is it the highest quality of levels? No, it's not the highest quality, but I think overall the negative sentiment's going to be there. It did turn at a spot that is a potential reversal level. So I mean, that was the right spot. Is it one that I'd be willing to jump into? No, I'd like to stay short. Again, it is a downtrend. Wait for a pullback. Again, larger time frame, it's a 23.6. Shorter time frame this morning from European session now, it is at the 50% retracement level. So not a bad level, 43.34. NQ, just getting hammered. We talked about there's the levels. Again, it came and bounced right off 14,000. I mentioned how big 14,000 would be. 14,000 was the support and resistance trap. Broke 14,000, we're going short. Boom, pop. Let's see where the 50% retracement is on this one from the 3 o'clock window. A little bit of a test, and again, 9:30. Would we have traded this one? Nope. I mean, I would have said get short, but did I have a definable level of risk? Not really. There is a wick over there, but it is so small. It's not one you would have taken. We were waiting for a pullback back up, and again, it just didn't get to it. So again, this is going to be one of those mornings where, yeah, I wanted to get short, but you know, volatility is just way too insane. So yeah, makes sense why I turned at 14. Um, I wouldn't trade the 50 on this one. I like the ES better. So again, we're going to skip this one for today. Don't think there's anything viable for later. I think it continues to drop. Let's see what we got with YM. YM on the 15-minute. Yeah, you can see right here, 9:30 candle. There's not even a small wick over wick, but there's not even anything big here. Let's see what we got. Let's do it from the top and see where we got a 50. 50's pulling it a wick over wick. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the 3 o'clock, unfortunately, is right there. I really don't like these either, fib-wise. Not on this chart, anyway. It's probably the best draw from our high from the 21st, right? This technically blew through, but if we do the bigger trend down, at least the 50 pops up. 34,059. And again, it turned where it should have, but it wasn't something I was willing to go long from. 10 o'clock, 10:30, 10:15 trap. Yeah. So it turned where it should have, but I think this one will find some sellers. I think it's looking for sellers to continue to push down. So unfortunately, today was the first day that I don't think we're gonna have a single opening print setup. I could have told you they were all gonna go south, but I wasn't interested. Like I said, is this the bottom? Are we gonna bounce from there? Now we bounced a little bit lower, but we drew that one up. Now this one actually, if we would have drawn a level here, the last bit of sellers, we could have. You probably would have just missed it. Close. Close. So again, looking to get short of the open as this one spiked up into this level of sellers. There maybe, depending on your broker, maybe you caught one out of these four. The other three did absolutely not have the setup. This one, we actually did have a level that it pulled back to. And again, when we did the next broadcast, we were down here, so we didn't, we could have seen that level, but that's about it. But funny, we talked about this bounce, and we got the bounce. It just came a little bit, made a new low. Let me see where Russell. Unfortunately, it's just actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to go up to an hourly. Let me see. Curious to see where this one's coming back to. Come on. There we go. Finance, where our 50 is. Let me set our horizontal line. Let's drop it here. Man, I keep clicking that one. I want a horizontal line. So it's bouncing off of. Wow. It kind of went deep. That one probably won't hold, actually. Well, you know what? I'll mark it off. It's a decent level. It's actually hit over here as well. So here is our downside target. 1884. Woof. So about 100 points more. So about 100 points more. Yeah, so that was the only thing. So this is the only one of the four that you could have potentially, and again, I think you would have missed it by just a little bit. I think the Pitback gang would have got you. Unfortunately, I think we'd have missed this entry. But yeah, right now it's reversing. So we'll see if it's able to maintain. So we'll see if 1030 is going to be the bottom. They're all coming back a little bit. Come on. Oops. There we go. Yeah, decent. I'm actually okay with this rallying up. I think this one's decent. I think of all the indices, I think the ES is the best one right now. Again, a larger time frame, 23.6, smaller time frame, European session open, 50% retracement. It is a supply zone. It is a wick over wick, and it was tested once, so it's decent. Like I said, this level held it's going up. I'd love to say, yeah, I would have got long. Nah, it would have been my target to the downside. So target would have been out, and again, look for this to potentially roll over and again give us something this afternoon. Besides that, cryptos are fighting back a little bit. They're still at 34,000, but you can see look at the level of volatility in this thing this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're fighting back a little bit, right? Fighting back a little bit, but yeah, still more or less to the downside. 34,000. Again, earlier today we were at close to 33,000, so a little bit of a retracement, but man, this one is getting crushed. Ethereum down 10%. Also, just again continuing to drop on that one. Wow, look, AMC also down 11%. Look at that, down another 11%, down $2. Um, AMC getting crushed. GME under 100 again, pushing his way back down again. Man, I really hope those Wall Street bets guys are still not holding these long. And even Dogecoin down to 13. Right, 13.25. So even that's getting crushed. And TLT actually bonds are up just a little bit now, little tiny bit. So overall, not bad. Dollar pulling back a little bit. Again, we expected to see some profit taking in the dollar, and that's coming in. But VIX is not slowing down. Look at that. VIX is not slowing down. 30.75. So um, I can invest in another trust for that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'll put it this way, Neuro. I think they're all coming down much more. Um, Now that Russia's like, hey, listen, you can mine crypto here. That's how we're going to avoid sanctions. Not not really the best. um, if I was a crypto person, I would be very concerned about that because if Russia is using it to circumvent sanctions, that's even more reason for central banks to be able to outlaw it. To say, listen, if you're going to use it to circumvent central bank sanctions, then that shows that you're defeating the purpose of sanctions. Then yeah, we're just going to outlaw it and crush it. So I think you're going to get it a lot cheaper if you're looking for it. But you should be happy about silver, right? Aren't you happy about silver? Don't you want silver to come like much lower? Don't you want silver and gold to come a whole lot lower? Right? I know you love those things. You're all about that. All right, let's go ahead and do our drawing for the day. A little bit late. Melissa's probably angry in the other room because I haven't grabbed the baby yet. Debbie won Friday, right? Debbie won Friday, so Debbie is going for her 100 pip chips today. Everybody else is going in at 25. Who else we got in here? We got Briggs in here today. I got Nadix in for 2, Eki in for 1, Sean in for 1, Marine in for 1, Nero in for 2, and Will in for 1. All right, let's close it down. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is 8 participants, 12 tickets. Winner is... Man, this is like becoming like the year of the double. Look at that. Debbie pulls a double. The question is, can Debbie triple it? Because lately, no one's been able to triple it, but doubles have been happening a lot. So yeah, there's your 100. Look at that. Doubles of like, man, it's like phew, doubles are just crazy, right? Kicking in them doubles. Oh, don't forget also, how did Debbie win before closing? What do you mean? It was closed. I can't do the drawing unless it's closed. What do you mean before closing? I can't do the drawing unless it's closed. Right? You guys can't see it. It says she can no longer enter the giveaway, right? Debbie failed that. Debbie was trying to, yeah, Debbie already had 2 in. Debbie was trying to put more in, guys. Debbie, look at this. They're trying to, look, yeah. Debbie, don't listen to them. They're underlings, they're haters. They're haters. You know what? They were probably cheering for the Bucks this weekend, Debbie. What are you talking about, Ernest? Ernest is lost. Ernest is totally lost. Yeah, Ernest, I will post it. Look at this. Here we go. I'm gonna post this just because, all these Bucks fans, I swear. There, I've posted it in Discord just so you can see the how it works. You can no longer enter. Debbie tried to enter extra tickets and it said no, 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 and then Debbie won with 2 tickets. But if you watch the recording showed Debbie 2 before I actually did that one. Yeah. Debbie, I'm telling you, Debbie, they're all Tom Brady fans. They're all Tom Brady fans. This is what happens. They're just angry. Don't listen to them, Debbie. You won fair and square. You won fair and square today. All right, so Russia hasn't invaded during our time today. So with that, I am going to be gone. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow we have the Natick section in the morning. And then tomorrow, I'm not going to be on at noon. Tomorrow, I speak at 2 p.m. And it's a conversation on Bollinger Bands, Bollinger Band width, and Bollinger Band percent B. And I may actually, again, depending on the time, may actually talk about Kelter bands as well. So again, a little bit more advanced than we normally talk about. And you guys will get some extra strategies tomorrow as well if you guys are interested in following those. We'll talk about squeezes. We'll talk about M's and W's. We're going to talk about, I don't even know the correct way to say it, but using trend. There's so much stuff. So yeah, we'll see how much time I have tomorrow, but I'll be on from 2 to 2:45. If you guys don't have the link for that one, it is up on the next website. But I will be broadcasting on all channels. So if you guys are watching on another channel out there, if you're on ShareVision or on YouTube, it will be broadcast against all channels. It'll be at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and we're going to do a kind of an advanced breakdown into Bollinger bands, widths, percent Bs, and maybe even Kelters, depending on how fast I go. All right. With that said, I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care.